Battery that we're using doesn't have a dimension drawing for us to use to model it, so I went ahead and measured the battery with a ruler and took down some dimensions and drew an orthographic sketch and an isometric sketch of the battery. So with these dimensions, I'm going to go ahead and model up this battery in SOLIDWORKS. Let's go ahead and open up SOLIDWORKS, and we'll open up a new part file. And we'll begin by sketching the base of our battery on the top plane. So let's go ahead and select the top plane and sketch, and we'll draw a center rectangle centered at the origin, and we'll drag it out here in space, and we'll begin by dimension it. Don't forget to right click and you can get to Smart Dimension. You can also get to it over here. So let's go ahead and dimension this, and for me it was 1 3/8 inches. And the length was 7 inches. So that's it for this sketch. So now we will extrude it, and the height was 2 3/8. And we want to make sure we're going in the positive Y direction, up. Okay, so here's our battery. One of the reasons I wanted you guys to center that rectangle on the origin was you can see that our right plane and our front plane cut right through the center of the part, and we're going to use that because our part's symmetrical left to right and front to rear. So we're going to use that when we model the battery terminals, which we're going to do right now. So let's go ahead and sketch on the front plane, sketch. And we're just going to draw a rough approximation of what the battery terminals look like with our line command, and then we'll add some constraints and dimension it after we get the rough approximation on the screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some constraints. So for me, my terminal was made out of metal that was about 1/16 of an inch thick, and it was 1/8 of an inch high. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to hold down Control and click this vertical line, this other vertical line, and the base of the terminal, this horizontal line, and make those all equal. For me, these are all 1/16 of an inch, so I'll go ahead and Smart Dimension to 1/16. And the overall length was 1/4 of an inch. And let's see, there were 3/4 of an inch from the end. And let's see, it looks like I need to add a horizontal constraint to this line. And now my sketch is fully dimensioned. So let's go ahead and exit the sketch, and we'll extrude that profile. So we'll go to our extruded base, and we're going to use the mid-plane extrusion. So we're going to do the mid-plane extrusion off that front plane which we're sketching on, and that's going to be 1/4 of an inch, which is the width of my battery terminal. So this is why I wanted you guys to use the origin as the center for that center rectangle. So now let's go ahead and mirror that battery terminal. So we're going to mirror about, we can go to the feature tree over here and choose the right plane, and features to mirror, we'll choose the last extrusion, and there's our second battery terminal over here. So we'll green check mark, and there we go. Now for the material, rubber's a good approximation for the battery. It's about the same density of the batteries we're using, so we can go ahead and pick that. For the battery terminals, just to make them look a little bit cooler, we can change the appearance. And we're just gonna, when we change the appearance, we can change the appearance of the entire part, the entire body, or just the extrusion. We want to change just the extrusion. So we'll choose this medium gray, and we'll make it shiny. Green check mark, and we'll do the same thing for the mirror. We'll change its appearance. to the medium gray, shiny. And here we go. Here's our battery.